Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, so let's get to it. The very first thing I want to show you guys are a few new dinosaur figures from PNSO. They recently released a Microraptor pretty much totally unannounced. It just had shown up on their Amazon PNSO store. Well, they actually have two new figures on top of that, one of which is a Tojengasaurus, and you can see how beautiful this looks. I'm really psyched to have a figure of this, a larger scale figure of this species, as this isn't something that we've had too many of in the past, and in fact I'm actually having a hard time thinking of any at all. So having this really beautiful looking version, again, I am a huge fan of green on stegosaurs, so I am instantly drawn to the figure in general. But sculpt wise, I think it looks phenomenal. Paint wise, it looks phenomenal as well. I have one currently on its way to me now, so cannot wait to get a hold of this and review it for you guys. And then the second figure that is releasing from PNSO is actually the one I'm the most excited about when it comes to any of the species that we've previously mentioned here as far as their newer figures like the Microraptor and Tojengasaurus. We also have a Lambeosaurus, and I love Lambeosaurus. There are so few figures out there of Lambeosaurus, and most of the decent ones like the Invicta figure are pretty hard to find for most people, so it's very, very exciting to have one coming out from PNSO, and honestly, it's probably the nicest looking Lambeosaurus figure I have ever seen in my entire life. Absolutely gorgeous. I hope and pray that the actual paint application looks at least close to what we see here in these images when it does officially arrive, because I really think that the entire figure as a whole is extremely appealing as far as both the sculpt and paint aspect. Really, really neat looking as far as the paint scheme they've gone with, but the sculpt overall is just insanely beautiful. This is probably one of the figures that I am the most excited for, I think, at this point, just because, again, so few figures of Lambeosaurus out there, and anytime we can get a new one, I am 100% in. Again, both are actually available on the Amazon PNSO store as well as on Dan's Dinosaurs, and will be coming into stock on Everything Dinosaur. And speaking of Everything Dinosaur, some very exciting news on the Everything Dinosaur front. They are the official importers in the European scene of the iToy Studio figures, the prehistoric iToy figures. So we now officially can see iToy showing up on Everything Dinosaur, which is super exciting, not just for European dinosaur collectors, but collectors all over the world, as Everything Dinosaur, of course, does ship worldwide. So it will make it a little easier to get a hold of some of these figures, as sometimes they can be a little bit of a pain to get a hold of searching through eBay or AliExpress. But luckily for us, Everything Dinosaur now will be stocking quite a few of their different figures, which you can see in these images. Some of the figures that will be coming into stock on Everything Dinosaur very soon, one of which is, again, one of my most anticipated figures for this year, their Paraceratherium, which mine has been kind of stuck in customs for quite some time, waiting mine to show up very soon, but that's definitely not an issue I've ever had when it comes to ordering from Everything Dinosaur, so make sure that you keep checking back to Everything Dinosaur. I believe their first shipment is due into their warehouse around the 10th of November, and again, order yourself some iToy dinosaurs from Everything Dinosaur as soon as they do come into stock. And then as far as the Beasts of the Mesozoic line, we have some super exciting news when it comes to 2021, and that is that they will be releasing the Protoceratops and Psittacosaurus in 1/18th scale, which you can see in these images some of the prototypes of these figures. Again, they are currently releasing in the Beast of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian line in 1/6 scale due to their smaller size, so that is definitely something that is really cool, that they'll actually be releasing these species to go in scale with the rest of the Beast of the Mesozoic Ceratopsian series, and they will actually be releasing the 1/18th scale raptors soon to follow after the Protoceratops and Psittacosaurus. So we will have all of these figures kind of able to go with each other as far as scale goes, and that is extremely cool. And then we have an image of the paint scheme for the Dryptosaurus for the Tyrannosaur series, and again, a really cool looking paint scheme, definitely another very realistic interpretation of what potentially could be the colors for a species of Tyrannosaur. Again, a Dryptosaurus is a species that I don't think I have any figures of at all in my collection, so I will definitely be welcoming this one with open arms. And then as far as Rebor goes, we have a look at some of the box art for their upcoming Mountain Gorilla release. Each of the 4 different variants you can see here as far as the box art goes. Really exciting to know that these guys are pretty much releasing right around the corner. And then we also have a look at the fully finished, as far as the sculpt goes, their Smilodon, and we now see it completely covered in fur, because previously we kind of had a few different images kind of showing some of the fur detail of the head. Then we saw just the very muscular looking body. Well, we now have the sculpt completely done as far as the fur detail, and it looks incredibly beautiful. Really nice looking Smilodon. I'm super excited to see this release from Rebor, as they don't release very many prehistoric mammals, so this is definitely something I am incredibly looking forward to, and I cannot wait to see what the paint scheme or paint schemes will look like on this figure. And then as far as Joe Laudati goes, he is releasing a brand new resin kit of the Styracosaurus from the Valley of Gwangi. If you remember that awesome film with the Allosaurus, you now have the kind of companion piece to his Allosaurus, Gwangi the Allosaurus. You now have the Styracosaurus to go and complete the very cool scene of the two dinosaurs battling from that film. Really nice looking sculpt, very faithful to what we see in the film. As always, when it comes to a Joe Laudati sculpt, he's probably the best paleo artist in the world, I would imagine, as far as capturing that kind of cinema style dinosaur model. I have quite a few different Joe Laudati sculpts, and each and every one is amazing beyond belief, and I can 100% see that this is exactly the same. Another beautiful Joe Laudati resin kit. So if this is something you would like to pick up, I will include a link in the description to where you can do that on Joe Laudati's website right now. And then as far as Mesozoo goes, we have a look at some of their upcoming figures. I had recently promoted the fact that they will be releasing a Spinosaurus. We now have the updated look to the Spinosaurus, with it kind of being more of a bipedal positioning for the figure. Really, really cool looking Spinosaurus. I'm super excited about this release because the sculpt looks much different than most and really unique overall. A really cool looking interpretation of the Spinosaurus. And one other model that I think they are releasing, I haven't had 100% confirmation on this one, but there is a Prestosuchus that people have been kind of showing some images of, and again, really beautiful looking. We don't get very many Prestosuchus figures either, so this is definitely another release from Mesozoo I will really be looking forward to, and another absolutely gorgeous figure from them. We also have a look at a few new updates from Marco Makes and some figures that he is currently working on. We have a look at his upcoming rubber saw Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yes, he is actually taking the old Rex and resculpting it in a bit of a larger size and some more detail than it had previously, which is really impressive. I feel like Marco gets better and better every single day, and this Rex is a beautiful example of that, as the sculpt looks extremely impressive, and I thought his previous sculpt looked great, but this one looks even better. And then another really cool figure that he's actually working on, and he had just sent me these images, is a Dilophosaurus. And on top of being a Dilophosaurus and looking really, really nice, beautiful sculpt as always, really cool Kenner look to the figure, it actually has even more of a Kenner throwback, and that's of course the fact that you can attach a frill. So you have a removable frill, pretty much just like the Kenner figures did, and it actually spits water, which makes it even better. Again, yet another Kenner throwback. So lots of really cool figures coming from Marco Makes, and I would definitely love to get a hold of some of these in the very near future. And in even more news on the part of Marco Makes, he is actually going to be releasing a Velociraptor blue bust. However, this was sculpted by him and painted by him, which honestly I think is amazing. The sculpt is picture perfect as far as what I believe Velociraptor blue to look like, but the paint as well is just gorgeous. I'm really blown away by how good of a job he's done in getting pretty much every ounce of color perfectly done on the head of Velociraptor blue, really nicely matching all the different tones of color that you can make out on Velociraptor blue's face in the films if you get close enough. Again, super impressive as far as the sculpt and paint application goes, but this one is actually, I believe, as of right now, just a one-off. It's something that's going to be sold in an auction on eBay, so if this is something that you would like to purchase or bid on, make sure you check out that listing when it does officially go up. And the final thing from Marco Makes that I have is just that he has recently released a really cool trailer for his rubber saws, and I thought it was so super cool. One of the most fun things that I have watched in a long time as far as kind of dinosaur toy, well, I guess it's not really photography, but videos, and I just thought it would be cool to play it here for you guys, so here you go. Again, really cool on the part of Marco. Makes an awesome video that I just thought was too cool to resist playing for you guys, and he had given me permission to include it in this video, so I was 100% down with showing you guys if you had not seen the video already. So again, make sure you follow Marco Makes on YouTube and Instagram to keep up to date on all of his current and upcoming releases. And then if you can recall, I promoted a Velociraptor bust a little while back. Well, they're actually going to be creating alternate variations as far as the paint schemes. Previously, I had only promoted the Tiger Striped Lost World version, but here you can see from this image that there is actually 4 different variants, as you have the Jurassic Park, Lost World Jurassic Park, and then the Jurassic Park 3 variations as far as the paintwork goes. And specifically, and I think my favorite version of all, would be the female Jurassic Park Raptor. I think it looks really good as far as the paint application that he's applied here, and overall is a beautiful looking bust. So if you would like to order one of these, I will include a link in the description to their Instagram account where you can contact them and inquire further about purchasing one of these beautiful Velociraptor busts. And then thanks to Collect Jurassic, as far as Mattel goes, we have another look at the Plesiosaur that will be coming out from the Savage Strike, I believe, line very soon. Really cool looking new paint scheme for the figure. Definitely actually much better than what the original promotional images had kind of led me to believe. I kind of liked it, but I wasn't super sold on it. But this new image definitely has me liking it quite a bit more than I previously did. And then a huge thanks to Teresa Robinson, who supplied me with this image. But the new Snap Squads, the new Camp Cretaceous Snap Squads, are officially showing up at Targets across the United States, and you can see quite a few different new figures included in the line. As far as new sculpts, we now have a Parasaurolophus and a Stygimoloch included, so make sure you start checking your local Targets if these are some figures that you are interested in picking up. I definitely will be doing the same. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.